And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the Finer Print live stream number 2. I have Manic Idiot with me. Say hi, Manic.
Hey, how are you?
So, let's talk about what everybody else seems to be talking about. Google. Specifically the Google Memo, or as I like to call it, the screed against the creed.
Dude, that's not even close to clever. What the fuck is wrong with you? You need help. You need to work on that. You've been thinking about this all fucking day, and that was the best you could come up with.
I came up with this about 5 minutes ago, so that's in my defense.
Okay, fair enough. It's shit though, just so you know. No, I would have gone with like the decree of
Yeah, that worked too. So James Damore has been shit canned from Google.
Are you surprised though? Are you really surprised?
I am not surprised. I actually, as soon as I saw the headline from Motherboard saying, "Oh, there's a memo circulating virally inside of Google that challenges the norm and the doctrine," I'm like, this guy's toast. He's done. There's no way they're gonna keep him on.
Nope. I was in the same boat. I was just hoping that there would actually be something in there worth firing over, and I went, dude, there's nothing in here that's even remotely all that offensive. I mean, yeah, it goes against the narrative, but he didn't call any names. He didn't do any rude speech. He didn't, all he did was he even spoke mostly of averages. So it was, it was one of the most tame 10 pages I've read in a long time.
I'm not even sure it goes against the narrative. That's the thing. I mean, all he's saying is that, look, there are differences here. We are all individuals. Well,
if the narrative is the victim culture, then it will be going against the narrative, because it's basically saying you're not a victim, that, there's a reason for this, a logical reason, not just the patriarchy.
Well, if we're going to be talking about logic here, then,
this is Google we're talking about.
Google we're talking about. Let me ask you this. Do you think if Sergey Brin and the other dude who founded Google were still in charge, do you think that they would have taken that step and shit canned the guy?
Honestly, I don't know them well enough to say, but if they were on the current political spectrum, I would say yes. I think it has less to do with the dude who's in charge and more to do with the position in which he represents.
Isn't there I know you're not a Google employee or anything like that, so but they had a picture circulating on the internet of a logo or a creed that is on the walls at Google in Mountain View, saying, "Do not be evil."
I think that was their original slogan was like "Do no evil," or that kind of thing.
Right. And I think the progression that we've seen from Google being that spunky search engine that could, to this
powerhouse
monolith. It's a monolith. And I was listening to the Sargon stream earlier today, and V said something very interesting that I agree with. Google is the internet. Let's not kid ourselves.
I think currently you're probably close to accurate, but ultimately, if people get annoyed enough, you can actually start to hurt Google a little bit, and this can be done in small ways by like not using Gmail and not using Google as your search engine anymore. If enough people do that, they won't be the internet anymore.
Well, that's the problem, and this is something that I keep thinking about, is that the amount of voices that say this is very small. It's mostly the people in our quote unquote community that say, "Oh, we're
wrench, bitch."
Huh?
Give me a wrench, bitch.
Give me a wrench. Oh, hang on a second. I didn't even open the stream on my browser.
I mean, yeah, come on now. What's wrong with you? So anyway, but there's a guy who's in chat. His name's Ghosty, who says we need to change our title to the Gulag Memo. And I'm with him.
All right, hang on a second.
I think you fucked this up completely, and since I don't have a wrench, I can't even enforce your chat. In case Google employees come in here and start heiling Hitler.
Hold on a second. I'm looking for you in the chat. Here you go.
And Sir Wolfie's calling you a big meanie head because clearly you haven't invited him in, and he wants in on this shit.
And my dog is barking. So hold on a second, Wolfie. I'm going to send you a link so you can join, and I can take the dog for a squat.
Oh yeah, there we go. And while you're out there doing that, I'll talk with Wolfie, and we'll completely ruin your fucking channel. Just
Hey,
in
now.
one stream.
That's all I want. Hold on a second. I'm gonna send him a link.
And then you're gonna smack your dog or mute your mic.
I'll mute my mic. Hold on a second. So you can go ahead and rattle on some,
All right.
Facts
All
and
right.
interesting tidbits.
Well, since I'm all by myself now that the finer print has completely wasted everybody's time by screwing this up and not planning out, because he had actually asked if we wanted to put it out for an hour later, and I thought, no, let's do it early because I want to talk about Google. But here he is wasting all our time, and there's nothing we can do about it. So basically, I'm just going to babble for a while and maybe even address the chat if it's is curious about talking about me. So Master Builder 164 asks, who wants to hear an offensive joke? A offensive joke? Come on, man. My grammar Nazi requires that it's an offensive joke. It's important that you get your grammar correct.
That is correct. Yes. All right. So I just sent the link to Wolfie. Wolfie, come on over. Let's go. Yes,
absolutely. Get your ass in here so that I no longer am talking to myself in the most monotone voice I can possibly make. I'm here to basically hypnotize your audience until they are no longer. Hey, Sir Wolfie, welcome to the chat.
Hey, Wolfie. Hello.
You need to say words, bitch.
You got to speak, man.
We'll kick you off if you don't. He must be having mic problems or something.
Oh, yeah, that might be it.
So if you need to go and take care of your dog, I will talk until Sir Wolfie finally gets his mouth operating correctly.
I'm just rubbing her eyes at the moment. She's just looking.
All right, on. Yeah, so basically, you have a whore dog. Okay, well, let's get back to Google then, since you're going to be hanging out.
Yeah. Oh, and there he drops. I guess he's going to have to restart it. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was just going to say you were in the middle of talking about
Yeah, so what I'm saying is that the general public as a whole doesn't really understand or know or cares enough to say, you know what? Fuck Google. I'm going to go use Yahoo. I'm going to go use Bing. I'm going to go use DuckDuckGo. It's not there in their consciousness. It's just in our community. We're the ones who are railing against all of this. It's kind of like if you want, Gamergate or what happened at VidCon with Anita, people don't care enough. It's in such a small microcosm of our reality that it doesn't really matter to people. They don't.
Well, if you can still make people care. That's the thing. If you're thinking that right now just as is, yeah, probably you're right. But if you start poking people one at a time, and I'm not talking about trying to do some big campaign. I'm talking about go with your friends and be like, hey man, you should probably switch your email to something that's not Gmail. Well, why? And then get into a conversation about it. And if you can start doing 1 to 2 people, you might convince them to convince some of their friends. And that's how you get something started. There is no like snap fix to this problem. It's just you have to fucking do it one person at a time, or either that or just give up, because ultimately we don't have the power that Google has to spread that kind of information or make that kind of campaign on a wide scale. So basically all we got are one-on-one.
Right, and that's the problem.
There we go.
Hey,
hello, Wolfie.
Yeah, I forgot to hang up Discord.
You son of a bitch.
You suck.
Get the fuck out of this chat.
Oh, I'm gonna go stand in the corner.
All right, so welcome, Wolfie. Hi, how you doing? Sorry, I couldn't. I didn't send you a link for the last stream, so I'm glad that you're here for this one.
No. I called you a poopy head because you didn't reply back to mine saying, "Oh, I can't make it," or so.
You know what? I was at work and I have no Wi-Fi where they put my new office in, so I can't really follow what's going on. So that
sounds like excuses to me.
No, I'm serious. I've been like deprived.
No. In my chat, Idiot was like, we should call him names and stuff, and I'm like, no, he's a good guy. He makes good content. Just let him be.
And here's the thing, Sir Wolfie, since you're packing my bag already, I vouched for you for this stream, so just keep that in mind.
Oh no, you're always welcome, and you're always welcome to backtalk me anytime you want. So,
right on, equal opportunity shit talking. Anyway, what were you saying, Finer Print, about because I just finished up basically saying one-on-one.
Yeah, no, that's fine. What I was saying is that Google has become so vast, so large, and so influential that what can word of mouth really do? You know, what can me talk? Okay, so I'm going to talk to my friend and tell him, all right, so you need to get off Gmail and start a GMX account like I did today. And, you know, sent you an email. I don't know if you got it or not. How do we get beyond the point of, you know what, I need to use a different service for my email. I need to use a different service for my streams. I need to use a different service for my videos.
Well, like I said,
this means I have to get up off my ass and not be lazy.
Well, and like I said, it's not an easy thing to change people's habits. It's, you know, there is no easy way to change how somebody has set up their habitual internet usage. And I'm just as guilty. I use Google without even thinking, and I've had to go fuck. So I literally changed all my fucking settings to automatically go to DuckDuckGo, which is, I think I heard, is owned by Google too. Is that true?
Not to my knowledge. Hang on, I'll be right back. You guys go ahead.
Maybe they use Google's algorithm or something. I can't remember, but in my opinion, I think changing habits, while it's hard, is pretty much the only option we have without having like somebody who's really, really big and a lot of money to be able to actually spread that kind of awareness in a large scale campaign. What do you think, Wolfie?
Oh, yeah, it's gonna be hard, but it can be done. It might be a slow campaign, if you know what I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But it can be done. It can, especially when it comes to people who prefer to have a freer mind instead of being an android.
Yeah, eventually you're just gonna have to find the right people who are already pissed off at Google, and you just have to give them that incentive to try something new. Like, for example, with me, for the longest time I hated Google, but still used it without really thinking. And until this happened, this was the thing that made me go, you know what? I'm not going to use Google as a search engine. You know what? I'm not going to use Gmail anymore. And
yeah,
while that's not a major impact to Google, it's a start. And the less people use their services, the less they're going to be relevant.
And the less money they get.
You got a lot of background noise, buddy.
Not as bad as mine, I'm sure.
Nope. No, your dog was occasionally barking. I was hearing kids and slamming and shit like that. I just wanted to let him know.
That's all right. So I'm sorry. What were you guys discussing while I was away?
We were just continuing on with the concept of changing people's habits and shit like that. And then Wolfie had mentioned that while it's not going to be an easy thing, especially from our particular position, it's certainly possible. Anything is possible, especially if you can get people to just, all they got to do is be pissed off under the right conditions. And for my example was dealing with Google, this new Memo thing was what got me to suddenly just go, you know what? I'm tired of using Google as a search engine. I'm tired of using them as an email system, and it is just time to switch it up. Even though it's going to be a pain in the ass and I'm not used to this new stuff, it was the thing that pushed me over the edge to just to stop using the services, which it won't dent by itself, but if enough people do it, you're going to see enough of a dent that they might have to change their tune just to get people's fucking trust back.
Yeah, I'm even thinking about uninstalling Chrome, which is going to be kind of hard because I don't
use Chrome. I use Opera.
I use Firefox.
Opera?
Yeah, Opera has some issues, but for the most part, I've had very limited problems in terms of website compatibility, and it runs reasonably fast. And I've had very few problems. I don't know why it gets such a bad rap.
Well, I think it gets.
I've never used it, so
I think it gets a bad rap because it's considered an old browser. I mean, I remember my days of using Netscape, and Opera was just coming out at the time. So.
So I didn't know it was this old, but it's been well updated. It's got a lot of cool features. I see no difference between it and Chrome in terms of what you can do with it.
I think it's comparable. What you were saying earlier, I think it's very comparable to people changing over from Mac to Windows and vice versa, or people going to Linux. You know, it's a pain in the ass to begin with to start learning a new system, but once you get used to it, it becomes second nature.
Yep, and basically that's what happened with Google. People got on board with Google, and it became second nature, and they became the only thing ever. And the one thing I want to avoid is I don't know if you watched South Park, but they had a South Park episode about Walmart, and the ending of the episode was basically, if we all use one thing, it will always turn into Walmart. So the goal is to basically not all group under a single thing, or we basically build a monopoly for them.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah, I agree with that. So
I'm just saying it's kind of a vicious circle that we get caught in, and the only way to avoid it is actually to fucking actively make sure you're not supporting just a single entity on the internet or in anything. You know, don't just shop at Walmart. Shop at a Target every now and then. Shop at a Fred Meyer every now and then, even though they're more expensive. It's about creating the competition.
Making it diverse.
But that's the problem. There is no competition when it comes to Google. I mean, Yahoo has
not yet.
That's it. You know, what else does Yahoo offer?
They used to have chats, but that's gone downhill.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. Google has managed to reach its quote unquote tentacles, not to get into Eichenwaldian territory here. They basically do everything. If you want to do a spreadsheet, you can go to Google. If you want to record a video and upload it to the internet, you can go to Google.
I'm not saying they don't have a massive oversight over virtually everything, but let me put it to you this way. Every major power, once it got too big for its britches, burst a bubble.
I was waiting for you to say britches.
I love that word. I've recently gotten back into that word.
Yeah, I love that too. All right, so let's just segue from that into the Slate article. I'm gonna put it on my screen real quick, and let's see if I can do this.
Whose kids am I hearing?
Mine.
You've got loud kids, my friend.
All right, so
you need to be a better father. I'm kidding. I'm sure you're a great father.
Oh, there he is. Hey, Wolfie.
Proof that he is a human being.
And not just an avatar of a furry. Okay.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right. So here's the Slate article, and this has been making the rounds today. There's been a lot.
God, this title fucking kills me.
Yeah, that's what's been burning the proverbial internet so far.
Yeah, I did read this one actually. I didn't realize it was from Slate though.
Yeah. So what she's saying here, that science is sold to us as an almost wholly objective pursuit, a pure endeavor, a way of pursuing truth and only truth. Yeah.
Yeah, because they try to, make sure they test and retest and make sure that when they say something happens, they have proof to provide you with. It's that whole lack of evidence thing that people get hung up on when you bring up really bad ideas, my friends. Just throwing that out there, Slate.
And here's the thing. She's a scientist. The woman, or maybe it's a guy, I don't know, Chanda Prescott Weinstein, which sounds like an Indian wasp Jewish intermix there. She's a scientist, or he's a scientist. And
not all scientists are created equal, my friend.
Well, that depends on the definition of a scientist, doesn't it? I mean, if this person, if Zur is a social scientist, then by that definition, I can just dismiss them. But if
no, don't just dismiss them. You can dismiss their ideas as actual science, but they might have good ideas. I'm very against even dismissing Steve Shives. When I go in and listen to a Steve Shives video, I try to find something that he's right about. And
I think, me too. I'm not saying dismiss that person as
okay. I just wanted to throw that out there just in case people were thinking of who gives. Well, this person might have a good idea somewhere in this fucking nonsense.
I'll refer you back to the headline here.
Oh no.
Evolutionary psychology is just the most obvious example of science's flaws. No, it isn't. Evolutionary psychology has been right on more than one occasion on most things.
And guess what? It is important to note that while science may be backed by lots of testing and shit like that, the scientists are still people, so they're going to make mistakes, and that doesn't mean that science is wrong. It just means that people aren't perfect. So that's what science is there for, to try to eliminate the human factor.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the main problem here.
They think science is wrong when science isn't wrong. The person who was applying the science was wrong. That's how it works. When science is right, it has nothing to do with the person. It has to do with the tests that were done, and then the fact that under repeat conditions, the same results happen. That's how we go. That's where we go from a here's an idea to here's a theory.
Yeah, but there's a difference between a theory and something that's proven, like a law, like gravity.
I still thought that it was still in terms, still a theory.
Gravity?
Yeah.
No.
I thought it was like a scientific theory because I know that they're different. Okay.
No.
I'm no scientist, so don't fucking. I'm an idiot, man. I was just
okay. Let me explain it to you. Gravity is a law because you can test it, you can prove it, you can replicate it. Okay. I can take an object. Excuse me. I can take a ball. I can drop the ball from a certain height and measure the amount of time that takes the ball from the height that it was dropped to hit the floor. Okay. I can replicate that result with other objects. I can measure that. That's why gravity is a law.
Because it will happen the same every time.
It'll happen the same.
Yeah, I'm gonna figure out how to break it.
You're gonna, oh yeah, motherfucker. He's when there's a law, Sir Wolfie will find a way.
Yeah,
like life.
Now, relativity is a theory.
Oh, okay.
Because we have nothing that we can actually use to prove it. Okay,
it's based on the math of what is.
Exactly, it's based on the math of what is, and it's not something that has discernible, concrete, tangible proof that we can look at and say, "Oh yeah, that's what that is." It's not a law; it's a theory.
Okay, thank you for clearing that up. At the very least, I just learned something. I appreciate that.
That's okay.
Right.
I mean, how do you measure offense? Is there a thermometer for being offended?
Nope. Is there a tape measure for being offended?
Right.
No.
That's the problem, and that's what when I'm reading a headline like this. Stop equating science with truth. It just screams oxymoron to me.
Well, there's also a thing that I have a problem with because ultimately truth is kind of perspective. I can still be wrong and be telling you the truth.
Yes.
I can't be wrong while telling you a fact. I can be wrong about the fact, but that's when I'm wrong about the fact, it ceases to be a fact. But when I tell you a fact, there's no right or wrong. It's the way we've agreed because there's been tests. There's a difference between fact and truth. Truth is a bit of a perspective of events or what you think happened. You know, it's your perception of a situation.
Exactly. Everybody has their own truths.
But nobody has their own facts.
Nope. Nope. But what Slate would have you believe is that they have all the facts. And if you have different facts like James Damore, you're gone.
Oh, that's sad.
That is very sad. And it's scary, too. Because, I mean, look, I don't work at a tech company. I used to work for Microsoft in China, actually.
You would.
What's that?
I said you would.
But look, it was a job. They actually invented a role just for me. So
that's you got to take that fucking like as a compliment. You were so well you were so well desired. They invented a position.
Yeah, and it had nothing to do with coding.
I hate that shit.
I have next to nothing in terms of knowledge about computer programming or anything of the sort. But when I joined Microsoft, I was encouraged to join at least 18 different mailing groups on the company server. And now that includes everybody, not just Beijing office. I mean, the whole corporation.
Holy crap.
Right. And there's like tons of internal groups that talk about anything from swapping recipes to politics to everything. Everything. Not once have I heard anybody who was voicing an opinion that was different from somebody else get reprimanded or get fired or anything of the sort.
And certainly not for this level of, let's call it prudence in words. Because, I mean, I can tell by reading that memo that he actively tried his best not to offend anyone.
He's a liberal.
No, he didn't.
He's a liberal.
So to have him get fired for essentially the nicest 10-page article that's saying, hey, by the way, I disagree with some of our business practices, makes Google look like absolute dung.
Not just that, it actually proves and validates everything that he said in that memo.
Yeah, because he's a fucking white male. I remember that guy.
Yeah, ate Skrillex. Everybody remembers that guy.
But that guy has literally just been proven right.
Yeah.
More or less. I mean, they didn't fire him because he was a white male. But if a white woman or a black woman had put that thing, it would have been hailed as the while still being against the narrative. She's a critical thinker, and they couldn't have fired her because they would have looked 1,000,000 times worse.
Yeah, and that just perpetuates the stigma that is being perpetrated against white people and especially white men in America today.
Yeah, and that's really a horrible backwards way of I used to think that we had moved quite a bit forward since the 60s, but instead we just flipped roles. Minus the lynching and the past and shit like that. I'm just saying the overall view of white people has flipped.
Yeah, pretty much. It's like they want to keep prejudice in. I really don't want it. I hate prejudice. I always have. I come from the hood.
Where are you from, Wolfie? Just like generally speaking.
Originally, I'm from Michigan.
Oh man, holy shit! So
I think he's central U.S.
Okay.
I'm in Kentucky now, so.
Oh,
so sorry for you.
And why do you think I was trying? Like, I need to get out of here. Save me.
I don't want to be here anymore.
All right, so AlphaGo in the chat is saying she hates Microsoft. Truth.
I can understand. Windows 10 has bugged me ever since I got it, and I really wish I could go back, but I can't because it's been entirely too long now. But yeah, they're a company that's pretty much. I mean, they're not a monopoly in the same sense as Google is in their particular what their market is.
They used to be.
But they're close.
They used to be. The government, if I'm not mistaken, actually cracked down on Microsoft under monopoly laws.
Well, why don't they do that under Google?
That's the problem. I think the thing that Google did that was really smart is that they never placed all of their eggs in one basket like Microsoft did. And they have offices or HQs in different locations. I think their HQ is actually not in Silicon Valley. I think it's in Ireland, if I'm not mistaken.
Well, we should still go after him. We should call Ireland and like have him deport all of Google.
Have Dave Cullen come over there and knock on the door. Yeah.
Yeah. God damn it. They'll listen to Dave. Right. Right.
Yeah.
No. It's gone to the point where if you're on the internet, you're fairly well aware of what Google's doing, and it's all down to ideology. Is pretty much what I can see. Is you'll have people who are more centrist to right leaning, going, "This is awful," and every left person that I've talked to has been like, "Yeah, totally, he should have gotten fired because that's sexist and misogynist and a complete example of what we've been talking about here." And I go, "Whoa,
but
God.
It's not."
Exactly. That's why I was going, "Whoa, did you not read it?"
Well, that's the thing, and that leads me into what else I wanted to talk about is that the spinning of the narrative. It's not about what the memo says anymore, and it's the same thing that happened with Trump too. If you guys remember during the campaign before he even was nominated, he was talking about how Mexico keeps sending us, rapists.
I remember that.
Right. So he had a very distinct statement, and the media took that statement and completely spun it around until the narrative was no longer about Trump saying Mexico is sending us, some people that are not so good, into Trump hates Mexicans, they're all racist, they're all rapists, and they're all criminals.
And that's every single side, even places that weren't necessarily news were just were comedy shows that like John Oliver, he ran the grab 'em by the pussy thing. That if you listen to the context, there's a very specific phrase in there that he had said, they let you. Yeah. And that's known as consent.
Yeah.
And it's still kind of it's kind of gross. I can understand why people are grossed out by that, by Donald Trump fingering chicks, but come on. There's nothing illegal about that. There's nothing wrong about that. And then these goddamn celebrities who go, I would never talk like that. That's not men talk. You're full of shit.
And he has such small fingers anyway. So
yeah, he probably couldn't find the clit.
He finds all the clits. All of his clits are huge.
No, his fingers couldn't. I don't think his fingers could find the G spot, but
it leads me back to what I've been reading on Twitter and on headlines. And when you actually say to somebody, "Have you read the memo?" They'll turn around to you and say, "Of course I read the memo. What do you think I am? You think I'm stupid?" It's that whole mentality of,
hey, nobody's ever asked me that. Nobody has ever asked if I thought they were stupid.
I know. I'm just paraphrasing here.
No, I know that. I'm just saying that it's one of those things that I think my name has saved me from people's certain insults.
Yeah.
Like nobody ever goes, "Do you think I'm stupid?" No, I think I'm stupid. I want you to educate me. That's the point of the questions.
So.
And herein lies the problem, doesn't it? Because people don't want to be educated anymore. That's why people are so fat, dumb, and lazy when it comes to changing it up from Google and doing something else.
Well, nothing is permanent, and that there's I hate using my dad as a fucking quoting device, but every now and then he had some good ones, which was the only thing constant in this world is change, and eventually something's going to have to change, and that includes with Google,
except from a vending machine.
Yeah, you need exact change at a vending machine. That was a nice dumb joke. That's a dad joke. I'm so proud of you. I'm so fucking proud of you right now.
Yeah, well, I'm probably a little bit older than you, so that would explain it.
Hey,
I've got you both beat.
Yeah, probably. Yeah,
I'm the youngin in here. That's cool. I got no problem with that. It still validates my idiocy.
No, you seem pretty well educated, though.
Shut up! I'm an idiot.
He's got to maintain an image, Wolfie.
Fine, you're an idiot.
Thank you.
Fucking moron.
We're friend. No, I'm not undoomed, people. I'm.
Well, I can't sound like undoomed. I don't make angels cry, so.
Oh yeah. Anyway, that's off topic.
No, that's fine. I don't care if we go off topic because I'm not planning on staying for much longer, just another half hour or so.
Okay. Well, there was another thing you wanted to talk about, which was queer kid stuff. If you want to get the fuck off of Google.
I have had so much fun working on that last video. Have you seen it?
I have not. I've been editing my own, so I've been kind of up my own ass. And apparently I keep getting invited to streams, so it keeps pushing off my editing.
Speaking of which...
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
That was the joke. So no, please, for the people who haven't seen, maybe you can chill your own shit on your own channel.
No, it's not nothing about that. I loved the fact I understand that it's geared towards kids. Okay, queer kid stuff is geared towards kids, but whose kids are we talking about here? Because the population of queer kids is so minuscule and so tiny, but yet they field it as if it's appealing to everyone. And I'm just sitting there and I'm going, what the fuck are you doing?
No, I think they play queer kid stuff at like mental institutions to try to get people fucking sane again. Here's something that's crazy sounding. Listen to it for a while, and then they come out and they're like, "Okay, I'm done."
Yeah. I let my daughter watch one. She just had that look on her face, like, "What the fuck is that?"
And that's and you went, "That's Daddy's girl."
Yes.
I've never been more proud of you till right now.
Exactly.
I have nothing against homosexuality. I have no problem.
I have something against stupid ideas, and she's chock full of them.
Oh my god. It's just been...
I'm sure she's one of the nicest people ever, and I have nothing against her. I have something against her ideas, and that's something I've been trying to push more and more is don't just dismiss somebody because you don't like them. I know it's hard to sift through the bullshit, but if you can find something to agree with, you'll get further in a conversation than if you're just like, what a fucking retard. Easier said than done. Yeah.
My problem is that this is geared towards kids.
And that is a big problem because
that is a huge problem.
She's spreading a lot of bad ideas to a really impressionable audience.
And it's not even about sexuality anymore. I'm not even talking about that because what they're doing right now is they're talking about privilege. They're doing a whole series about this, and we're on episode 3 already. And this last episode was not even about queer issues. It was about social issues. And
being Poe.
And I don't think that they're being Poe. I really don't. The thing of that they were trying to advocate in that particular episode is so frightfully hideous, in my opinion, that I can't understand why it's being allowed for kids. And that is the concept of you have money, therefore you must give everybody else your money.
That's communist stuff.
That's exactly what I latched on in my video. Exactly. It's like, no, I worked for my money, so I get to keep my money. I get to spend my money on what I want to spend it on.
And I agree with you.
Yeah. God, we're an echo chamber, aren't we?
I'm broke like a bitch, but I don't expect anybody to give me their money. They earned it. It's theirs to keep. I mean, if they want to donate, go ahead, but I'm not going to. I don't even say, hey, here's my Patreon. So
I haven't even started a Patreon. I'm considering doing it, but I don't think I have a big enough audience for that.
No, I have a Patreon for other people's shows.
Ah, okay. Okay. So you're just collecting on behalf of Vernaculus and stuff?
No, it's easier for me to shell out money for them.
Oh,
if that makes sense.
We have 10 people watching. That's, I think, the highest we've had. Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Hello.
I can't see you. I'm on my phone.
Ah, okay. So yeah, Manic had to go to the door. So the delivery must be in.
But yes, I didn't get to see your show, but from what I understand the way you're talking, yes, I agree. That's communist.
Yeah, I mean, just look at their episode. Don't even watch my video on that. Just watch their video. It's just so. AlphaGo is saying that it's called a redistributive tax. No, that's not what they're saying. What they're saying in the simplest, most child-friendly terms is that I can afford ice cream, therefore everybody should be able to get ice cream off of me, off of my back, off of my hard labor.
Please.
Yeah, hashtag save Teddy, Cynics. That's right. Yeah, Teddy is trans polyester. I came up with that one. So
trans polyester.
Well, I mean,
but you should tell Toon that.
Toon? Who's Toon?
He's another anti-SJW who's been advocating to save Teddy.
Ah, okay.
So.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely trans something, you know. So I figured since he's a teddy bear and he's not real, you know.
You can even see fingers wiggling the neck.
Oh my God, that was so bad that I think it was the second episode that they did about privilege. You could see the operator under the table.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at this show, and now I'm just going to talk about production values. I work in production, so for me, that's like you couldn't hide the person. What the hell's going on?
Get a green suit. Use a green screen stuff.
Even just, you know, rip a hole in Teddy's butt and you know, stitch it up so all the stuffing doesn't fall out, and just put the hand up from there, and you know, maybe cut a hole through the chair that he's sitting on.
Right.
I mean, it just gets so freaking obvious. And again, I know it's for kids. I understand that, but at least do something. And here, get this. She was shilling some kind of show for kids on one of their other videos that is literally hand puppets. And I'm not even talking about a sock over your hand. I'm talking about a hand that's holding, and you see the hand. It's not like with the glove on or anything. A hand that's holding like a little paper puppet. And she's like, that's so cool. That's so edgy. Go watch it now. I'm like, no. Why?
No. It's almost as bad as her stick puppet thing with Elsa and Anna.
Holy shit, what did I miss?
We were just talking about the production value at Queer Kid stuff.
Oh, hey, yeah, and that Teddy's one hell of a fucking prop.
Yeah, I was just saying that Teddy's trans polyester, so... Yeah.
I'm most impressed.
Yeah. How's the pizza?
My what?
I don't know. You went to the door, so I'm assuming.
Oh
you got
no!
some pizza.
My fucking landlord wanted to ask me to do some work on the house, on the fucking barn, and then had a story about Walmart.
Oh God!
Of course he did.
Oh no! She was at Walmart, and there was this big fat lady and her big fat kid and a fucking dog who was taking a dump in the middle of the aisle, and she was just disgusted by it. Welcome to Walmart.
When do they allow animals in Walmart?
They don't. But I imagine if they did, it was probably because the old person at the front either didn't remember the rules or she lied and said, "It's my service dog. It helps my fat ass get around the store. It has diarrhea. I hope nobody cares." It was an awfully disgusting story. Yeah, that was exactly my reaction.
Mile 5.
Fucking get a hazmat suit.
Seriously. Walmart. Yeah, I stopped going to Walmart a long time ago. Costco. That's where I go.
Unfortunately, that's all they have here in this duct tape state.
Walmart after Walmart after Walmart. They have Walmarts inside Walmarts.
Yeah, basically,
it's Walmartception.
They're all super centers.
I'm waiting for them to open that super Walmart. I know it was a Costco and Idiocracy, but I'm waiting for them to open the super Walmart where you have weather inside and birds flying around.
Dude, I am so I've watched Idiocracy over and over and over again. I watch it regularly. It's one of my favorite movies, and it gets it gets more and more accurate as fucking time goes by.
Yeah,
I know, right?
Mike Judge was a fucking prophet.
And unfortunately, I don't think he meant it the way it's playing out right now.
Well,
I think
it's a lot like 1984. It was a warning, not a how-to manual. That's a meme I stole, so I'm not even going to pretend to take credit for that.
That's very funny. That's actually very
very accurate too.
Very accurate, yeah.
And on point when we're talking about Google, because Google's becoming, I mean, with things, for me, when Google fucking took off, like for me, was when didn't they put satellites up in space?
You would think, right?
Because they have Google Earth, so I think they have their own satellites, right?
No, what they're doing is actually utilizing aerial photography from all over the world. They don't have their own satellites, and it's not actual satellites; it's aerial photography.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, good. Then at the very least, we're not there yet.
Yeah, but the Street View, that's something that they did do, and to this day, I still have a picture of my dad standing next to our house, looking at the Google car, and his face is all blurred out. But I know it's him.
I know the house, goddammit.
I know the house, and I'm like,
I know that pot belly. That's my dad's fucking belly. What the fuck?
Yeah, and I keep thinking about this. They should come around again because he lost some weight,
and they need to get a more flattering, blurred out picture of him.
Exactly.
But getting back to queer kid stuff.
But yeah,
go ahead.
Stick to things, guys.
I was going to make a joke about your Google thing with the satellites and say, watch them be the reason for Skynet.
I don't want that shit coming true.
Again,
and yet it is
a warning, not a how-to manual.
Again.
Right.
So, but yeah. I thought we were done with Google. I'm sorry to bring us back. I tried to get out, but they keep pulling me back in.
It's all right. AlphaGo is asking if anyone knows Go AI systems. There's a thing called I think called Deep Dream or something like that, and that's a machine that plays Go, and it's been beating pretty much everybody around. So that's the only one I know. So.
I have no idea what anybody's talking about now. I think I might have had too much to drink.
Yeah. No, that's all right. Go is a very ancient Chinese game. If you ever watched A Beautiful Mind with Russell Crowe,
I have.
It's towards the beginning of the movie where the other guy's challenging him to a game, and he has that line, the terrified, stupefied, petrified of you.
Yeah.
Right. That's the game that they're playing. Is Go.
Yeah, that was way too. Beautiful Mind was literally over my head. That was where I was like, yep, I'm an idiot for certain. Really? I can't follow a Nobel Prize mathematician. or a guy acting like one. Clearly, I'm too stupid for this job.
And he was manic too.
Hey, we had something in common.
Hey.
I'm the opposite end of his spectrum.
It's the Fonz.
Hey.
But here's the thing, and I know I'm going to take this on a different tangent. Everybody always say you need to play chess, not checkers, right? Have you ever heard that expression?
Yep.
Yes, I have.
I say you need to play Go and not chess.
I like chess. Go is too complicated.
That's the thing, is that there's only so many moves that you can make in chess, and in Go, because it's a 19 by 19 board, it presents so many.
Hey, dude, more is not always better.
Dude, you live in America.
I like chess too.
I know that, why do you think I know that more is not always better?
It's not just a question of the size of the board. It's a question of how many steps ahead can you think. And in chess, most grandmasters can think 7 to 10 moves ahead. In Go, even beginner players can think anywhere between 15 to 20 moves ahead.
Oh, dude, I don't even bother to think ahead. I just react. I'm a reactionary chess player. It's like, oh, you moved there, you motherfucker.
I'm gonna kill you now.
He's a speed chess person.
Yep, I'm a violent fucking guy. Like if you take a piece of mine, I might fucking hurt you. Better be willing to take that rook. You might get a bloody nose, motherfucker. No, but I actually got into a conversation with this on your stream, I think, Wolfie, when we were talking about games we were playing. I was saying I played Civilization because I like chess, and to me, Civilization is just a bigger version of chess, like a combination of Risk.
Yeah, right. It's like the Risk game. So
for me, it's kind of an esoteric or abstract version of it, way less rigid in rules, and that's one of the reasons why I liked it so much. Is I don't really like rules. Like I would always wanted to like change what my pieces do. It's like, nah, everything's a queen, motherfucker.
Even the king.
The king just can't move backwards. You have a bunch of queens and a king that can't move in reverse.
Yeah. But I think if you look at the geopolitics of it all, the reason people say, play chess, not checkers, is because you have to be more astute about what you're doing.
And come on, checkers is fun, though.
Yeah.
Who doesn't love a good game of checkers and king me and shit?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't get to leapfrog in fucking chess. It's weak. I wish I could hop all my pawns over other pawns and take all your pawns.
Well, there is a move in chess called en passant where you can actually take an opponent's pawn, but it's only in like specific areas. So.
But of course, they have their little goofy rules that nobody but fucking grandmasters know about, or I think they just make them up.
It is in French, so there you go.
That's why we don't know. We were like, look at all them vowels. We don't want to fucking know this move.
All the vowels and the silent consonants and all that stuff.
It's bullshit.
God damn it.
How does Molyneux have an X in it?
I know. Did the X just get pissed off and they just need to be thrown in words to feel better about itself? I never understood. It's like xylophone. Come on, man. It's a Z.
Not an X. But then how would you explain Professor Xavier? Xavier.
It's still they're giving X entirely too much shit to do. Come on, stick with X-Ray. That's what you're good at. Or X-Men. That's what you're good at. Or I guess if it's gonna be Xavier, I guess it would be Z-Men.
It should have been, and then it would be more or less problematic, I should say.
Oh god, I hate that word. That is probably my least favorite word next to whatever.
What, problematic?
Yeah, because everything, by definition, could be considered problematic. Breathing is problematic because, hey, if we didn't breathe, there wouldn't be Hitler.
Yeah, I heard a story, and I'm not sure how accurate it is, that Hitler actually used to drink water. I'm not sure about the historical accuracy of this, but
everybody has something in common with Hitler now, so everybody's a Nazi. We should just be out punching everybody at all times. And I heard that Stalin could breathe air. I'm sorry, I couldn't hear you over all the creaking.
I said I heard that Stalin used to breathe air.
I also heard that Stalin would fart on occasion.
Yes. Well, no, he was the dear leader. He wouldn't fart. That's, you know, kind of
like... No, he farted. They just smelled of roses in communism. FYI, dude, I got to get back to editing here pretty soon, so I'm going to have to head out here shortly.
Yeah, I'm going to wrap this up too. So thank you everybody for joining us, even though it was a bit of a shit show. I apologize for that. Wolfie, thank you so much for coming. I appreciate it.
Not a problem. Sorry about the hecticness. Usually they're in bed by now, but
no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. We'll
what,
just...
you have a life? How dare you?
I know, right?
It's okay. We'll just kill them in their sleep. It's okay.
Oh, Jesus. It's a dark joke at the very end.
Later.
All right, guys. Have fun. Peace out, guys.